Prioritize like a pro. Essential strategies for managing your time. Hello everyone. Welcome to our channel. In today's fast-paced world, managing priorities is essential for boosting productivity and achieving your goals. It's not just about getting things done, but focusing on the right tasks. In this video, we'll explore how you can identify tasks that align with your objectives and how to differentiate between urgent and important activities. We'll break it down into 4 key strategies. 1. Urgent and important. These tasks demand immediate attention. Think of unexpected issues or critical deadlines. By planning ahead, you can reduce the stress of last-minute tasks and stay prepared for the unforeseeable. 2. Non-urgent but important. These activities are critical, but don't let them become emergencies. The key is to allocate time for these tasks before they become urgent, ensuring you stay on track with your long-term goals. 3. Urgent but not important. These are distractions. It's important to learn how to say no and focus on what truly matters. Avoid interruptions and minor tasks that don't align with your priorities. 4. Not urgent and not important. These are the time wasters, like browsing social media. It's time to set clear boundaries and focus on tasks that drive you closer to success. We'll also give you tips on scheduling your work effectively, from using the important urgent matrix to managing your energy levels throughout the day. Mastering these strategies will help you stay productive and stress-free, giving you more control over your time and success. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might benefit from these essential strategies for managing your time. Let's get started. Mastering urgent and important tasks. Strategies to stay ahead and manage crises. When it comes to urgent and important tasks, it's all about managing your goals and staying ahead. Now, think about this. There are 2 types of urgent and important activities. First, you have those that pop up out of nowhere, the ones you can't foresee. Then there are those that you leave until the last minute. We've all been there, right? Scrambling to meet a deadline because we procrastinated or didn't plan properly. Here's the good news. While you can't always predict a sudden crisis, you can reduce the chances of being caught off guard by planning ahead. It's all about being proactive and not putting things off until the last minute. Let's break it down further. Planning ahead to avoid last-minute stress. Think about how much stress you could avoid if you planned ahead more often. By staying on top of things and tackling important tasks before they become urgent, you're not only saving yourself from unnecessary stress, but also ensuring that you maintain control over your time. Procrastination is often the culprit when tasks become urgent, and that's when you find yourself in a panic trying to get everything done at once. But let's be real for a second, we can't foresee everything. Life happens, and sometimes unexpected issues or crises will show up out of nowhere. It's important to make some room in your schedule to deal with these unforeseen tasks. So, when they do happen, you're prepared, and it doesn't throw off your entire day or week. Handling unforeseen issues like a pro. So, what happens when an urgent and important task appears out of the blue? Maybe it's a sudden critical deadline, or maybe something major happens that demands your immediate attention. These are the moments when you need to be flexible with your schedule. When a big crisis occurs, you may need to reschedule other activities to deal with it. And that's okay. The key here is to make sure you're prepared to adapt. One thing I always suggest is to look at what activities could have been foreseen. Ask yourself, was this something I could have planned for in advance? If the answer is yes, take a mental note and figure out how you can prevent similar situations from becoming urgent in the future. Take control of your schedule. Managing urgent and important tasks is all about balance. While you can't predict every crisis, you can prevent a lot of them from becoming overwhelming by staying organized and planning ahead. Always keep some buffer time in your schedule for those moments when life throws a curveball. The key is to control your time instead of letting it control you. So next time you're dealing with urgent and important tasks, remember, it's not about doing everything at once. It's about being smart, planning ahead, and adapting when necessary. Examples of urgent and important tasks. Let's talk about some examples to make this clearer. Imagine you're working on a project, and suddenly, there's a major unexpected issue that you need to handle, maybe a critical system failure or a deadline that you weren't aware of until last minute. These are the types of urgent and important tasks that require your immediate attention. Another example might be something more personal, like an unforeseen family emergency. These moments will demand your focus, and by having a strategy in place, you'll be better equipped to handle them without completely derailing your other important activities. How to handle urgent but not important tasks. Master the art of saying no to distractions. Let's talk about something we all struggle with: urgent but not important tasks. These are the little things that seem like they need your attention right away, but in reality, they're not helping you get closer to your big goals. Sound familiar? Maybe it's responding to non-critical emails, handling minor interruptions, or doing small tasks for others that aren't really part of your core focus. These distractions can seriously slow down your progress. Now, here's the kicker: if you want to stay on track and boost your productivity, learning to say no to these distractions is key. I know, it can feel hard at first, especially if you're someone who likes to be helpful. But let me tell you, it's not just okay to say no, sometimes it's necessary. Why saying no is powerful. When you say no to urgent but not important tasks, you're giving yourself the space to focus on what truly matters. Think about it like this: every time you get distracted by a small task, that's time taken away from something much more impactful. It's about prioritizing your goals, not someone else's small requests. And here's a little secret: most of the time, these tasks don't need you specifically to handle them. That's where empowering others comes in. If someone approaches you with an issue that doesn't align with your priorities, don't be afraid to delegate or give them the tools they need to solve it themselves. You're not only freeing up your time, but also helping others develop independence. Managing interruptions proactively. Let's be real, interruptions happen. Whether it's someone stopping by your desk or a notification pinging on your phone, these little distractions add up. So, how do you manage them without letting them derail your entire day? One of the best strategies is to schedule specific times for interruptions. You might think that sounds strange, but hear me out. By setting aside time to handle these smaller, less important tasks or respond to quick requests, you're controlling when they happen. This allows you to focus on your most important work without constantly being pulled away. It's like creating pockets of time where you can handle the urgent but not important without letting them dominate your day. Take control of your focus. At the end of the day, it's about taking control of your time and focus. By learning to say no to urgent but not important tasks, you'll be amazed at how much more productive you become. You'll have more time to dedicate to the things that really matter, the tasks that push you toward your goals. So, the next time you find yourself tempted to drop everything for a distraction, ask yourself, is this really urgent and important? If not, it's time to say no and protect your focus. Examples of urgent but not important tasks. Here are a few examples to help you spot these distractions in your day-to-day life. Responding to non-critical emails. Not every email needs an immediate reply. Prioritize the ones that move you closer to your goals and leave the rest for later. Dealing with minor interruptions. Whether it's a quick question from a coworker or a phone call, ask yourself if it truly needs your attention right now. Small tasks for others. Sometimes, we take on tasks that aren't really our responsibility. It's okay to politely decline or delegate these when they aren't part of your core objectives. How to avoid not urgent and not important tasks. Stay focused on what matters. We've all been there. You sit down to work, and before you know it, you're scrolling through social media or getting lost in a Netflix binge. These are classic examples of not urgent and not important activities, things that don't contribute to your goals and, honestly, just eat up valuable time. So, let's talk about how you can avoid these distractions and stay focused on what really matters. First, it's important to understand why these activities are so tempting. They're easy, they're entertaining, and they give your brain a little break. But here's the problem: while they might feel good in the moment, they're counterproductive in the long run. You're sacrificing time that could be spent on tasks that will actually move you forward. So, how do we stop letting these activities control our time? Decline and set boundaries. The first step is learning to politely and assertively decline these distractions, whether they come from others or yourself. It's about setting clear boundaries, not just with people around you, but also with your own habits. When you establish clear objectives for yourself, it becomes easier to recognize when something isn't contributing to your goals. Think about it like this: if you know exactly what you want to achieve in a day, it's much easier to say no to anything that doesn't help you get there. Setting these boundaries isn't just about avoiding social media or TV. It's about protecting your time and energy from all the small, unimportant things that try to sneak into your day. Why boundaries work. When you create clear objectives and boundaries, people will start to respect your time. If you're constantly saying yes to everything, you're sending a message that your time isn't valuable. But when you start saying no to non-essential tasks, others will take notice. Over time, they'll be less likely to burden you with unimportant requests, and you'll have more freedom to focus on what truly matters. Focus on what matters. At the end of the day, it's all about focus. The more you can minimize not urgent and not important activities, the more time you'll have for the things that truly matter. You'll be able to focus on tasks that are aligned with your goals, and you'll see real progress toward what you want to achieve. Next time you catch yourself scrolling through social media or diving into a Netflix series, stop and ask yourself, is this moving me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, it's time to step away and refocus. The key is to avoid these distractions before they eat up your day, leaving you with little to show for it. So, stay focused, stay productive, and remember that saying no to distractions is saying yes to your success. Examples of not urgent and not important tasks. Let's get specific with a few examples of activities that typically fall into this category. Browsing social media. We all know how easily a quick check of Instagram or Twitter can turn into 30 minutes or more. This is a major time drain that rarely contributes to your long-term goals. Watching TV or Netflix. While it's fine to relax occasionally, excessive time spent watching shows or movies can take away from the time you could be using for more meaningful activities. Mindless web browsing. Whether it's reading articles or hopping from one site to another, this habit often sneaks up on you and consumes valuable time without you even realizing it. Mastering non-urgent but important tasks. Tips for scheduling your work efficiently. When it comes to productivity, scheduling your work is essential. It's not just about creating to-do lists, it's about being intentional with your time and focusing on what matters most. One of the best tools to help you prioritize is the important urgent matrix, which allows you to categorize tasks and manage your time more effectively. Let's talk about how you can use this strategy to take control of your schedule and make sure you're working smarter, not harder. Prioritize the quadrant of quality. A key part of scheduling effectively is understanding where you should focus your time. In the important urgent matrix, there's what we call the quadrant of quality and personal leadership. This is where you handle tasks that are important but not urgent. Think of activities like strategic planning, professional development, and relationship building, tasks that don't have a looming deadline but are critical for your long-term success. the goal is to spend the majority of your time here. Ideally, you want at least 70% of your week dedicated to the quadrant of quality. It's where you'll find the highest returns for your time, both personally and professionally. As a manager, this is where you should be focusing most of your energy. However, life happens. Unexpected urgent matters will inevitably pop up, whether it's a crisis at work, performance issues, or other fires that need immediate attention. This is where the quadrant of necessity comes in. Handle urgent but important tasks. In this quadrant, you'll deal with tasks that are both important and urgent. These are issues that need immediate action but should ideally be avoided if possible by planning ahead. Still, you can't predict everything, and sometimes, emergencies will happen. The trick is to allocate some time in your schedule for these unpredictable events. That way, when something urgent arises, you're not throwing your entire week off track. By budgeting time for the unexpected, you minimize the disruption to your main focus, the quadrant of quality. Balance your time between different quadrants. It's essential to decide how much of your week should be dedicated to these different quadrants. If you're constantly handling emergencies or interruptions, you'll find it harder to make meaningful progress on your long-term goals. On the other hand, certain roles, like healthcare or crisis management, naturally demand more time in the quadrant of necessity due to the unpredictable nature of the work. For example, let's say you're a midwife who gets called out for deliveries twice a month. These events are important and urgent, but they're also unpredictable. You have to plan around them, which might mean you have less time available for other projects in your quadrant of quality. The same principle applies to anyone who regularly deals with unexpected, urgent issues. Protect your quadrant of quality time. So, what's the next step? The first thing you need to do is set boundaries and protect your time for those important but not urgent tasks. If you don't, they'll never get done. Prioritizing means saying no to interruptions and distractions that don't align with your goals. You also want to ensure that you're not just scheduling meetings or urgent tasks. Block out time in your calendar for strategic work, planning, and development. These are the areas that will help you grow and achieve your long-term objectives. In conclusion, the more time you spend in the quadrant of quality, the more control you'll have over your schedule and the better positioned you'll be for success. Use the important urgent matrix to manage your time effectively, and remember to plan for the unexpected without letting it derail your progress. By mastering your schedule, you'll be able to focus on what truly matters. Scheduling your work. Mastering productivity for success. Are you feeling overwhelmed with tasks and struggling to prioritize effectively? Let's change that. Scheduling your work is an essential step toward focusing on what really matters and boosting your productivity. Imagine having a clear path to follow each day, knowing you're dedicating time to critical activities that lead to your success. Here are some actionable tips that can transform the way you manage your time. Tip number 1. Define your critical activities. The first step in mastering your schedule is to clarify your objectives, desired outcomes, and deadlines for each priority task. Don't just dive in without a plan. Take a moment to outline what you need to accomplish. Once you've defined these elements, identify the necessary steps and determine who else needs to be involved. This is where collaboration comes in. It's essential to seek input from colleagues outside your immediate team. Don't hesitate to delegate tasks to others. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work. If your success hinges on someone else's contribution, initiate early communication to negotiate expectations and deadlines. When you show commitment to your colleagues' goals, you foster a supportive environment that benefits everyone involved. Tip number 2. Allocate time wisely. Now that you have your tasks identified, it's crucial to allocate time for each one. How long will it take to complete your research, write that report, or prepare for meetings? If you're unsure, lean on your past experiences or seek advice from your peers. Keep track of how long different activities take so that you can plan more effectively in the future. While it's tempting to rush and cram everything into your schedule, be mindful of setting realistic timeframes. Sometimes, you might need to allocate less time to accommodate other pressing priorities. But the key is to avoid the frustration of unfinished tasks. Proper time allocation is not just a suggestion, it's a must for maintaining your momentum. Tip number 3. Create a comprehensive schedule. Once you've identified tasks and allocated time, it's time to put everything into a schedule. And remember, it's not just about scheduling meetings and off-site events. Include every activity. Identify which tasks can be done concurrently with team members and which depend on prior tasks being completed. Establish set times during the day when you are available for colleagues to ask questions. This practice not only helps manage interruptions but also sets clear boundaries for focused work periods. To track your schedule, choose a tool that works best for you, whether it's an online calendar, a paper diary, or a wall chart. Keeping your schedule up to date is essential. Sharing it with your colleagues can foster better collaboration. For example, if you're dedicating time to prepare for an important meeting, they'll know not to interrupt you unless it's urgent. For more complex activities, consider using project management software. These tools help you manage multiple tasks and deadlines effectively. You might also explore critical path analysis to determine the minimum time required to complete a project, helping you avoid bottlenecks. Tip number 4. Be mindful of your energy levels. Lastly, let's talk about energy. We all have different productivity peaks throughout the day. For most people, focus and alertness are highest in the mid-morning, with another boost after lunch. However, energy levels typically dip in the evening. When planning your daily tasks, align them with your natural energy rhythms. Schedule high-priority activities during your peak performance times and reserve less critical tasks for when your energy wanes. For instance, avoid heavy lunches to keep your afternoon energy levels up. Some people may even find that they work best late at night. Discover what works for you and structure your schedule accordingly. By implementing these tips, you can dramatically improve how you manage your time. Scheduling your work effectively is not just about filling your calendar, it's about ensuring you focus on what truly matters. With clear objectives, realistic time allocations, a comprehensive schedule, and an understanding of your energy levels, you can conquer your tasks with confidence and clarity. Here is a key takeaway message from this video presentation. In our busy lives, we all share the same 24 hours each day for work and relaxation. It can be challenging to avoid interruptions, but mastering the art of prioritization is essential to reaching your goals. The secret lies in understanding yourself and leveraging your peak performance times to maximize productivity. Imagine harnessing your most creative moments for tasks that demand innovative thinking. Use these peak hours for activities like creative brainstorming, problem solving, and decision making. By aligning challenging tasks with when you feel most energized, you're setting yourself up for success. Conversely, identify your low energy times and reserve those for routine maintenance tasks, travel, and activities that require less mental effort. This strategic approach can make a world of difference in your efficiency and overall satisfaction. Time management isn't just a buzzword, it's a crucial skill that you need to practice and master for your work to yield great results. By organizing your tasks around your natural energy rhythms, you'll find that you can achieve more with less stress. Let's unlock our potential together. Remember, it's not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. Join us on this journey to mastering time management and achieving your goals. Now, we want to hear from you. What time management approach do you find easiest or most effective? Do you prefer time blocking, the Pomodoro technique, or something entirely different? Share your thoughts in the comments. Also, if there are topics you'd like us to cover in future videos, be it productivity hacks, stress management, or anything else, let us know. Your input helps us create content that truly resonates with you. This channel is dedicated to discussing business and personal development. We invite you to explore other exciting topics that are regularly posted on this channel. I wish you a good business startup and continue educating yourself with RBE. See you in the next video on this channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video on this channel.